Hi, my name is Becky Marquez, and I'm going to be going over the sheep heart dissection. I'm going to use this device here to show you where our this here you're able actually to press into is the sheep brain aorta. Now on the other side here we have the brachiosymphatic artery, which is here. Um, Now, and down here we have the left atrium, okay? And then if I'm going to go ahead and open the sheep brain so that you're able to see more of the locations inside. So again, here we have the aorta, and then on this other location here we have the brachiosymphatic artery, okay? Um, So the sheep brain is surrounded by tissue, kind of looks like fatty tissue. So I am actually going to go ahead and slice it in half so that we are able to see inside, and we can distinguish where we have mitral valves and other locations. So this is actually very hard. I would think it would be soft because it's the heart, but it's actually really hard to get through. So just bear with me. I maybe should have opened it before we started the recording. So still haven't got quite through the center of this. I want to make sure I don't damage anything I need. I'm all cutting through, but I'm afraid it's gonna be, it's very muscular. I can feel the muscles kind of ripping apart as I open it, actually. So we got a really good opening here. So the sheep heart's actually larger than the human heart, okay? So I'm going to go over a little bit. I have to lift the heart to be able to go over some locations of the sheep heart, okay? And I think I didn't do a good cut. Now I feel like I maybe cut through where we're going to have the left ventricle and the left atrium. Okay, so here is the sheep heart. Here we have the left atrium. Right above here you kind of see this tissue fibrous thing. This is the cordia tendinite, okay? Up here, here would be where the bicuspid valve is at, and you can actually see, you can actually see the little valve here, and here, up here, if I am able to poke in here, is where we have the left atrium. So here we have the sheep heart. Now on the other side, I kind of cut it wrong, I believe. But let me cut through the tissue so we can see what else we're able to see in this dissection, okay? So just bear with me. I wouldn't be a good surgeon. This is not a great dissection, I feel. I'm sorry. Okay, so now we're going to go again to look at it. This is actually a better view of the right ventricle. So we have the right ventricle here, and then we have the tricuspid valve right up here, and then we have the right atrium. Here is where we have the aorta, and then we have the aortic semilunar valve right about here. Okay, so this is the aortic semilunar valve. Okay, and again, this is the tricuspid valve here. This is actually a better view than the other one I was showing you before. You can actually see here the left and the right ventricle better on this one, and then I feel like I cut them both in half. So if I'm able to put them here, let's see, right. So we would have the aorta, which would be located here, and then we have the right atrium and the tricuspid valve, and then we will have the right ventricle, which is below. Now on this side here, we have the left atrium, and then right before we have the bicuspid valve, that is also known as the mitral left. Sorry. And then we have the left ventricle. So I think I've covered everything. I'm going to go ahead and lift this. Here we have the apex part of the sheep heart, and then in the middle, you're actually able to see it here, we have this interventricular sputum. Okay, so that would be located here. And in this top part, you're able to see the semilunar valve. Okay, so this is my sheep dissection. I'm sorry it wasn't better. I feel that the way I cut it wasn't done correctly, but I think I've covered everything. We always have the way I remember is you try before you buy, so it's always the the right atrium, the tricuspid valve, the right ventricle, and then we go to the left ventricle, to the bicuspid valve, which is also known as the mitral valve, and to the left atrium. So it's always try before you buy, and that's kind of the way that the circulation blood flow goes through. This is what I was taught in nursing school. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but you always try before you buy, and that would be the flow. So left atrium, tricuspid valve, right atrium, tricuspid valve, right ventricle, left ventricle, bicuspid valve, and left atrium. So I hope I've covered everything that I needed to, and thank you for your time today.